Hope you're doing as good as I'm doing. I'm physically feeling like I could honestly give it an 8 today. It was really, really good. I think all my sets were solid. I am not as fatigued, I guess, like energy-wise, as I was last week when I was doing more volume at lower weights. But even though I'm keeping the set ranges the same this week when I'm going a little bit heavier, it feels so good right now. Like, it's been a really, really good session today, and I feel very strong. Mentally, I think it went 1 for 1 today. I'm gonna keep it at an 8. They were honestly, it was barren of gym homies today, and it was just, the workout went well. I felt great, and I just had a pretty chill day. Like, I was pretty productive. It was pretty good. So I'm feeling good. I'm a little flustered at the moment because I've been doing delivery on the side until I get hired at this job, because I need to make some sort of income. And I just had such an unfortunate mishap where I went to go drop off an order and the guy wasn't picking up. And then some other guy came to my car and was like, "Hey, I'm Matthias. I need my food." And I was like, "That's not me, man. I'm sorry. I wish it was." 5 minutes later, Matthias ends up leaving and goes back into the apartment building. And then the people that I was giving food to finally come out, and they're like, "Hey, you gave us the wrong food." And I'm like, "Dude, I didn't even give you food." So the dasher that had Matthias's food gave it to my guy, and I just have Matthias's food now. And I ran around the building so many times, but I could not find him. But I have free food now, but it really doesn't feel good. He'll get a full refund, so it's whatever. But if I was just standing there, like, looking at the apartment door that's locked, and I was just like, if only, like, he's right there, so far away but so close. But anyway, that's just my little tangent, because I got energy on the brain, and I felt like getting that out because I'm a little flustered about it. But I thought, regardless of that, it'd be fun, because of how good my workout was today, to talk about really learning to appreciate a good workout and learning to just overall find an enjoyment. It doesn't have to be a passion, but I think you'll make the most progress and have the most fun at the gym when you really find how to get enjoyment out of your workouts, instead of either people so many times will just hyper analyze either their form, or they'll care too much about the weights they're lifting, and they'll just especially when people put their body second and the weights first, it always ends up hurting you in the end, because you have to make a lot more time to rest when you get messed up physically. But I guess what I mean by this is just I do Olympic. It's the most technical lifting you can do, even if it's not the strongest. You gotta be on point all the time. I feel like an Olympic lifter doing this kind of shit. And I've spent years trying to hone the technique, so I feel like I've earned it in a way. But I've definitely been a victim of the hyper analyzing of my own form, because it's fun to record sets and post it and feel good about it. But man, anytime anything goes shit, especially when you first start out, it just makes you feel like you're just doing something horribly wrong. And the sad truth about it is you did everything right. Your body just wasn't there. Your mind just wasn't there as much as you needed it to be. So it's just kind of along the mindset that I always talk about, where you just got to accept that that's the best you that you've got right now, and try to lift it again. Or, if it hurt you, then, take a rest and all that kind of shit. But what I want to get into, I guess, is just rather trying to find that form of lifting or just form of exercise that actually gets you excited about the workout and lets you actually just enjoy the lifts that you did, rather than turning the gym into a job and making the form feel like it's got to be perfect. When you're in the gym, there's no expectations. You will only feel as negative as you make yourself feel negative, I guess, in the sense of you can care a lot about your lifts, but you got to care about your own enjoyment. It's gotta come from a different place, rather than just oh, I feel like I need to be healthy, so I guess I'll just do this just because everybody told me to. It's like, that shit sucks. You know, you gotta find an actual personal need to want to get fulfillment out of the gym like you would any other thing in your daily life. You know, if you're doing things in your daily life that it follows the mindset of like, oh, I see other people do it, or oh, someone told me it'd make me better or make me healthier, and there's no actual personal drive behind it, it's just like, you might as well not be doing it, because you're not going to get the best growth out of that kind of a mindset, and you're not going to enjoy it. Like, the whole point of lifting something heavy or lifting something in a very technical way or lifting something to look really cool, it's just like, everything has an inner meaning to every individual person, whether that's psychological or something like trauma based. You know, I definitely started lifting weights because I was just pissed I was just pissed off all the time when I was a kid. You know, I had a lot going on. My parents were splitting up, and I just didn't know what I was doing in life. You know, and it felt like everything was crumbling. So I was like, I can't get my emotions out verbally, so I might as well go put my energy onto the gym. And as you know, some people might see that as like temporarily medicating the issue, which in a way it is. But you know, the people that don't have enough confidence or will or like drive to want to get that kind of personal shit out, that, you know, they put it out in other things in their life. Hopefully it comes out in a positive way, like the gym, that at least makes you better personally and can lead to better things in your future. But you know, a lot of times it can also come out as negative, and when people don't have those things that can get it out positively, the negatives can come out on other people that they actually care a lot about, you know. And so, God, I'm so frazzled today. The amount of tangents that's been going on is a little abysmal, but whatever. So just, when you're trying to just, you know, I can't tell you what is going to make you enjoy the gym. I can only just give you the idea that once you find what really suits your body and your lifestyle, like a lot of people do running, some people just go to the gym to just do some aerobic shit. I go in there and there are people who literally just break dance in the middle of the floor because they want to go out in a public setting and it's cheap, so they just make do. But god damn it, you know, it looks a little silly to people who don't do it, but it, you know, they're putting in the effort that they want to put in, and it makes them fulfilled, and it drives them to do better at something that isn't just an obligation that life gave you. You know, it sucks because as much as you can try to force yourself to enjoy, become passionate about a job, it really just stems from obligation. And that's why the majority of occupations end up feeling so shitty, because it's just driven by money and the idea that you have to survive. But you know, everybody has their own way of dealing with that personally. But you know, I don't want to focus on the negative too much. I want to, you know, regardless of what you end up choosing, or you know, sometimes you don't even choose. Like, I did powerlifting for the first 4 years of my lifting career so far, and I that was when I first started back when I was younger, and I loved it. And I definitely do have a powerlifter's build, like my long femurs and longer arms, and just everything was not built for Olympic. I also had extremely bad mobility, but anybody can get good mobility. It's just a matter of putting in the effort to actually get good at it. But I did not do that for years, and it led to a lot of injuries. But somehow, you know, somebody was just like, hey, try it, you know, you might like it. And I think my love for it actually originated from my curiosity, because the first time I did it, 2 girls from the local college came in, probably weighed half my weight, and was at half my size, you know. And when you're a kid, you're always just like, oh, the women are of course gonna lift less than you. And then when it comes to Olympic, man, everything's just technique, and mobility. And the strength is always the last part that limits your lifting in Olympic. It's always technique and mobility and core strength that limit you. And these girls came in and they showed us the fuck up, and I was like, damn. Not out of male egotistic mindset, but I was just like, why am I not good at this? You know, it wasn't so much about them, it was more about, I've always been the stronger kid because I started off really fat, and I've always excelled better than other people, so why am I not excelling now, even though I'm putting in the effort? And it just took a different mindset and a different training program and the way I look at my training to get used to it and find a deeper passion for it. You know, the ones that start off as like that little baby passion, and then you end up putting in so much work to just figure out why you're not doing well. You know, even if it seems like a short-term project, it's always ends up being such a long-term thing that drives you to do better in that thing. You know, of course not, that doesn't happen every time. Like, I've done a ton of, I've probably played every sport. I did baseball for like 8 years, hit high school, ended up hating it, you know? It just changes as your body changes and your mentality changes. And again, Olympic might not last forever. I don't expect it to. I hope it does. But, you know, it is what it is. If it goes away, I'm sure I'll find something else. I've always thought that with the commitment I've had, I'd be able to find like really cool passion out of bodybuilding and getting like super shredded. You know, so just when it comes to the thing that you want to find enjoyment in with the gym, just give it time. Like, try something new every now and then. Not all the time. You don't have to. But, like, whenever you want to do something new, like, try to really commit to it. Find out why you're shit at it at first, because everybody's shit at everything when they start, or at least not that great compared to what they want to be at. Even the prodigies that are naturally great at it think, oh, man, I could be way better. Why am I not doing okay? You know? And then when you find that why and you get past it, the level of triumph just it makes your world, or at least it makes mine. It makes it all so worth it on its own. Like, regardless of the strength and the weights, this is what I mean by putting like yourself first instead of the weights. Like, physically, your body needs to come first too, but also mentally. Like, I don't go to the gym just for the sake of putting a heavy number over my head or looking cool. It literally has become a life passion because I needed it in a time where I was at my lowest, and then I got to triumph past the hardships of it, and that doesn't happen a lot in life, you know, especially when it comes to personal stuff and the mental shit that you go through, especially growing up when you're trying to figure out what to do with your life. A lot of people just sit in their hole for a really long time and not put the effort to fight past it because there's not a lot of passion there. So whenever it comes to like something, just any hobby, it doesn't have to be physical. You know, art, I love to relate to that because I used to do that as well, and then I grew out of it. I'll probably go back to it at some point. But any hobby, you know, you pick up, when you get that why and that desire to do better, oh my God, like that on its own can make the other shit in your life become instantly better. You know, even insignificant, even if it seems like it's completely overwhelming and will crush you. So, I don't know. I went a little off the rails. I know I started by just talking about a more individual thing, but it is what it is. I love just going off about this shit anyway, but just, you know, find something to appreciate, work towards it because of your own personal desire to do so. And I really think that once you get past that why you're not making progress or why you're not doing better, the moment you make any progress past that, you get past the plateau, that is where the love comes in. That's where the serotonin is at its maximum, you know? So I'll spend weeks doing volume, but then the moment I get to try that one new heavy weight, it's like 2 workouts out of the entire month where I get to really try something new. And it's just, I love it. Even though it's like super, like, it's not that often, and I could make it often if I wanted to, but I just know that would limit my potential for it because that's the experience I've gone through. So that's at least why I love this shit. So find your enjoyment that comes from you, not the actual hobby that you're doing. Don't make it an obligation like a lot of things are in life. So that's all I got. Goodbye.